Shall we get started? I just watched the two most recent episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars on Paramount Plus. Good God, is it some fantastic fucking reality TV? I don't know how many of you are like hardcore Big Brother or like Survivor stans like I am. I love shows like that. It is such a true example of like American individualism and like the perpetual carrot at the end of a stick of just pure American dream capitalism. And it fascinates me to no end. Nothing has radicalized me more than just watching Survivor and Big Brother. Just to watch 20 plus years of different generations of Americans all acting on this idea of competition to be number one and the only one surviving, the last one alive. It fascinates me to no end. And so, RuPaul Charles very clearly loves these shows. And RuPaul Charles wants to have the greatest gay reality TV empire on the planet. So naturally, RuPaul needs at least one property to be just like Survivor and to be just like Big Brother. And RuPaul Charles has been trying to turn RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars into this thing. Much to the chagrin of the gay community at large, which is largely a very mutual aid-driven community where our community spaces, while competitive, are always about raising money for the community and about raising money for HIV and AIDS. It has always been more about competition to uplift ourselves and to elevate ourselves and to critique each other's appearance in the way to help us survive capitalism in the best way possible, despite the fact that we do not fit within it, for the most part. There are plenty of like hyper-capitalist gay people, but if you get deep enough into the community, specifically the community that is a chosen family type of community where these people don't really have any support outside of the community, it is much like this. So I want to say RuPaul Charles, RuPaul Charles, RuPaul Charles, boom, boom, boom. Like, you did it! RuPaul is the Jeffrey Bezos of the gay community, and it fascinates me because I love it. It's fantastic reality television. In the same way that I watch Big Brother and I watch Survivor, I am eating up RuPaul's Drag Race because this most recent week, this is where if you don't want to hear spoilers, go ahead and cut off until I like make my screen smaller. Like you can just mute me until this is over, but there are going to be spoilers for the most recent episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. Anyway, so this most recent week on RuPaul's Drag Race, we had 3 queens in the bottom. It was Sonique, Kylie, Miss Kylie. I forgot her last name. I just know her as Kylie. She said in episode 1, just call me Kylie. And I'm like, yes, that's your name. Absolutely. So Kylie Sonique Love. I was like, I want to say Love, but that just makes me think Courtney Love. But also like she does very much tailor her look after Courtney Love. So like, yeah, maybe that's the whole point. Anyway, Kylie Sonique Love was in the bottom 3. Shouldn't have been. Don't think she should have been. I don't think that her performance there warranted that. But also, I like that her being in the bottom has ignited kind of a bit more confidence in who she is and making her maybe be a little bit louder. Because I agree with the other queen's critique that like Kylie needs to like step it up, be a little bit louder. You're being a little demure. And the other two queens in the bottom were Scarlet Envy and Jan Sport, who we can't say Jan's last name because she'll get sued, and I don't want that for her. So her name is just Jan. Um, so hello, the pile. Welcome. I am on like a full rant about RuPaul's Drag Race right now. If you do not want spoilers for the most recent episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, go ahead and mute me. Leave my tab open, but like you mute me and until my little window I'm gonna make my little window smaller, and then once I make my little window smaller, I'm not talking about this, I'm gonna spoil RuPaul's Drag Race. So anyway, um so Scarlet Envy, Jan, and Kylie Sonic Love are in the bottom three, and then Ginger Minge wins. Here is where we get into the game being played, because Ginger has a previous relationship with Jan. Jan also has been in the bottom twice in a way that only a few other. I said twice that I was spoiling RuPaul's Drag Race. I said twice that I was spoiling RuPaul's Drag Race. Hello, I am spoiling RuPaul's Drag Race. This is spoilers. Yes, this is full of spoilers. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. We are talking spoilers here. I said I watched Drag Race and I want to do a gay discourse. That means that I have just watched the most recent episode of Drag Race and we are discoursing about it. That means spoilers, 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 spoilers. Hello. That was a bit. That was fully a bit. I'm so sorry. I know it got like elevated there, but like, uh, maybe the sunglasses are too much. Are the sunglasses too much? I feel like we need to change the tone a little bit. The sunglasses was a little too much, and I agree. Hello. So we're going to go into a spoiler-filled discussion on RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay, so here's where it gets into the gag of it all, is that Ginger Minge has a past relationship with Jansport, which means that Ginger Minge, it benefits her no matter what to keep Jan around, regardless of how good or bad Jan is doing in the competition. Because if Jan wins, she is very much likely not to get rid of Ginger because that she knows that her and Ginger are close. So, regardless of the critiques, we have the unfortunate situation of Ginger not being able to vote for Jan. That's what she meant by, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep at night after this. Like, she has to keep around her little goat. Jan is the goat of the season, which I don't know how many like Big Brother or like Survivor fans are in the house right now, but like, I love a good goat. I love a good goat. A good goat can make a season of reality TV so much fun. Like the way that Roxy Andrews was carried fully through her season, like everyone knew that that was a goat situation. So Jan is going to be the goat of the season. Yeah, no, Jan is the goat right now. Unless she starts like winning like crazy, which I think that she's cut out for it if she can like create a good narrative out of this. But like, I do think that right now Jan is definitely posed to be the goat of the season. As far as like the front runners that I'm seeing right now, I'm feeling like Trinity K. Bonet is just every time anyone acts up in any capacity, Trinity shuts it the fuck down. And that feels right to me. It just feels correct. It just feels right. I really, really like Trinity K. Bonet, and I really hope that she wins. Um also, um the I I have actually really, really started to like Scarlet, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of love the gameplay aspect of it so much that I'm glad that Jan is still in. That's how I'm feeling. Okay. There, we did a drag race discourse. What does everyone else think? What does everyone else think? Who should have gone home? Should it have been Scarlet? Should it have been Jan? Should it have been. I want to see if we have any Jan haters in the house, personally. I'm curious because I have seen so much Jan hate online. And I want to talk about a little thing that is going on with Jan, specifically in this episode. Is like Jan had a full emotional breakdown in this episode. I don't know if you noticed or watched, but like she absolutely did. And I have had this exact same emotional breakdown in the last few months. And I want to theorize this thing. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just someone who overthinks a lot. So, I want to call this thing the crisis of perception, where you are putting out what you believe to be 100% genuine, what you believe to be 100% yourself, what you believe to be like exactly who you are and who you want to be. And you are trying to put that out there, and it is being ill received because of reasons like people are saying, oh, you're not being authentic, or you're not being, it feels like you're performing, or it feels like you're doing this, doing that. And it's kind of this crisis of like, I feel like I'm doing exactly what you're saying that I should do, and I feel like it's not being seen in any way. Like I feel like I'm putting forth the effort to do the thing, but it's not being received. Or like I feel like I'm putting forth who I am authentically, but it's being perceived as fake. And like that is something that I think that a lot of people are really feeling right now, where like we're all performing on social media all day, every day. What we put online is a curation of what we choose to put online. So we're performing 24/7 on social media. And you are trying to perform what you think to authentically be yourself, but of course it can't be a perfectly 100% accurate thing of yourself, because you can only put what you curate and put online. So you are only going to be seen in the way that other people see you. And oh boy, is that fucking nerve-wracking. It's wild to like think about like, okay, even if I do try to put out like the most authentic like being of myself online, there will be people that miss parts of it. Like the person that came in and said, hey, you're talking about spoilers, when like 30 seconds before I was like, hey, I'm talking about spoilers. That person didn't receive the full information of who I am and what I'm putting out into the world. And so that person received someone who was spoiling RuPaul's Drag Race when I was already putting that out into the world. That's already what I was authentically being. So it's like this whole mismatch of I can't be perceived for exactly who I am online because it is so curated and because it is so um, presented in a certain edited way. And that has a little bit of an adverse reaction on our mental health, I think. So I really identify with Jan in this episode, specifically that moment where she's like, I feel like I'm giving you exactly what you're asking for, but you're not perceiving it. And I don't know if that's like the fault on Jan or the fault on the people who are perceiving her, because like I see the effort personally, but maybe the judges don't, because it's they're seeing a different story of it. They're seeing a different part of the edit, and I'm seeing a different part of the edit, and someone else is seeing it like not everyone is going to see exactly the same thing out of someone. And that's terrifying to me because I try to be really authentic, but also I try to like put on a show and be interesting and entertaining and I try to put on certain affectations that draw attention to myself, or I try to say certain things that make my like everyone does this thing where they virtue signal what they believe in, and they talk about all of this, and we want to be perceived as someone who has certain beliefs. We want to be perceived as someone who has certain um uh like things that they value, and we want to be able to convey that to everybody, but everyone who interacts with us is only receiving exactly what they perceive from us. And that makes me want to scream. So that's the discourse that I wanted to talk about this episode. And like whether or not the people who dislike Jan see that or not, it's whatever. They're perceiving a different thing. But I definitely, it resonates with me because that's something that I've had to deal with, where it's like, oh, I'm putting out something authentic into the world, and I fear that people aren't seeing it the way that I see it. Like, how do you find belonging when people can't perceive you the way that you perceive yourself? Just some stuff to think about, just a little bit. Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna drop the bit. We're gonna say hello to everyone. How is everyone doing? We're gonna say hello to every single person that has been in the chat today. I'm gonna change this to regular things to show everyone that we are done talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. Hello, Cody Pobbs. Hello, Yin Yang Koi. Hello, The Pile. Hello, GYTID. Hello, Ping Toe. Hello, Luke Meds. Hello, Squabbler. Hello. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. Hello, Chungus. Oh my goodness. Hi, Chungus. Hi, Gay. Hi, Gay. We are sashaying away with deals.